Hi, friends. Welcome to our ritual for August and September. So September is here. Yes, this is September 1st, but I owe you a ritual from August, and August was our month, or well, our word of the month for August was repetition. So we're going to be working with that today. Thank you for joining me. As always, make sure to grab your tools and all of that other good stuff. Alrighty, so here we are, repetition and the hermit. Today we are kind of engaging with learning more grace as we learn to stick with it. So with our theme of repetition, I shared that repetition can feel like we're spinning our wheels and just doing the same thing over and over again, but it's also an integral part of building a habit. We can't just make something a habit by doing it once. We have to stick with it. And as a teacher around the stick with it attitude, we have the hermit. So our invitation today is to work with the tarot card of the hermit as a teacher on the medicine that comes from repetition. This can show, how can we show up consistently? How can we continue even if we start to fall out of sync with our consistency? Consistency is what I meant to say. But yeah, that's the intention here. So if you already have your hermit card out, fantastic. I think I'm actually gonna, as I talk, kind of go through and see if I can find the hermit card from my golden eclipse tarot. So pull out your own and let's talk about it. Let's talk about what to do. So I just want to give this quick reminder of what to do when a block comes up. And the reason why I'm sharing this, I actually just did a ritual yesterday, an in-person ritual for Philly Pagan Pride. And I think it's just one of those gentle reminders that is helpful to get here and there, because as we are working intuitively, especially if you're new to working intuitively, it's important to acknowledge and understand that this is all part of the process. There's no straightforward way to just magically be better about things and better at giving yourself grace. That's a muscle that requires some work. So with that said, these are some things I recommend as you work in all rituals. If you're feeling stuck and don't know what to do, these are just some options. But again, creativity is all about problem solving. So this is all to say that this is part of the normal spiel, right? So sit with and acknowledge until you find the source and release it. If you're feeling stuck, are you judging yourself? Is that why you're feeling stuck? Are you feeling like you've run out of steam? Are you no longer feeling what you're working on? Choose another medium, rotate the image for new perspective. That can be helpful as well. Draw something in the room around you. Sometimes just refocusing on something else can help us get past that feeling of not knowing what we're doing. I also recommend to start another piece, move back and forth between the two, because it really is helpful to see things from a different perspective, and keeping our eyes fresh by going between two different images actually does a whole lot for us. So write about it in your journal. As always, I recommend us do some journaling, and we will do some journaling. I can't believe the Hermit is so far into this tarot deck. How much do you want to bet it's like one of the last cards I pull? Hierophant. All right, I feel like we're close. And of course, as I'm doing this, pull out your Hermit. The Hermit is here to help. But yeah. So one of the reasons why we're working with the Hermit is because it is Virgo season. And these are some of the themes of Virgo. So the Hermit is the card of Virgo. And so that's why we're working with this energy today. That might be something new that you don't really connect with is astrology. I totally recommend that you explore it a little bit, because astrology is one of those things outside of us that can remind us to check in with ourselves, and to check in with our spirit. I found the Hermit card. Astrology is helpful. So here are some things. Critical eye and analysis. Virgo is kind of the sign. The phrase for Virgo is I scrutinize. What an interesting phrase, right? I scrutinize. So critical eye and analysis. This is a sign that is to be of service. It's earth element, it's mutable energy, it's sixth house, and it is service before self. These are some of the themes. So take what serves you, release what does not, right? So again, we're working with Virgo energy through the Hermit today, and it is Virgo season. So we're going to start by writing some intentions. We're going to journal for intention. Pull out those papers and pencils. I found my Hermit card. I'm so ready. I'm so ready for this. Well, we're going to start with some journaling. So I'm going to put on some music, take some time to start with writing out an intention. It can be short and sweet or dark and deep. Does not need to be either or. You can really listen to yourself. Everything is invitation, not obligation. You are not obligated to do anything. You are just invited. Invitation always. So let me put on some Toonie Tunes for us to journal with. The questions, of course, as always, this is a recording, so you are free to do one or all. Pause if you need more time. What are the rituals you repeat every day? Now that one can be simple. It could be washing your face, or it could be meditation. It could be making a cup of tea and sitting with it and thinking about your day, journaling, whatever that is. Start with those. Why do you do these rituals? What's the intention? What's the purpose? And how do you feel after doing these rituals? So again, start with writing your intention for your session, for wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Short and sweet or dark and deep, whatever you feel. And I'll get back to it with you in a few.
I just woke up late in the afternoon. Broken bottles on the floor. The radio's on, all out of tune, and they forgot to shut the door. I wanna get out of these mess, to free my mind and see things clear. Become aware to worry less, then all these clouds will disappear. I wanna get out of this mess, live a life that's more profound. Become aware to worry less. I'm looking for a peace. met, there's no shame. Leaders fail and young men die. Always find someone to blame. Don't they care for another life? I wanna get out of these mess to free my mind and see things clear. Become aware to worry less, then all these clouds will disappear. I wanna get out of this mess and live a life that's more profound. Become aware to worry less. I'm looking for a deeper sound. The noise is fading now. I can hear a deeper sound.
All right, friends. Again, remember, you can keep journaling for as long as you want. Since we finished up some journaling, I want to invite you to just take a moment on some centering, some grounding. Let's take some deep breaths, right? Maybe hand on the heart, mind on your belly. Come back to center, come back to where you are. And just really land here. Take another deep breath in through the nose. And out through the mouth. Beautiful. Pull out your deck if you haven't yet. Like I said, I already did. So, because it kind of took me, I was right at the bottom of the deck with mine. Pull out your deck. It is time, friends, ladies and gentlemen, theys and thems, to look at our Hermit study. And of course, if you don't have a tarot deck, I like to supply you with one. Here he is. They are. She, her, them. This is our teacher today, the Hermit. So you can continue journaling as I'm talking. That, of course, is fine. And this is a question that you might want to journal as I talk, or just kind of reflect on as we continue. What do you notice about the Hermit? Observation always is our first way of understanding. There are visual cues within our Hermit image, right? The Hermit image in front of us on the screen is actually from the Smith-Waite deck. That is the classic deck that a lot of us know about. You might have a deck similar to this. Many decks are greatly inspired and connected to this deck. So this can be a great foundational deck to work with if you're learning the tarot and trying to understand it more deeply. So one other thought in the journal prompt, if you will, what can this card teach us about the power of commitment, the self-belief, the repeating of our rituals? And of course, how can this illumination of the individual support our collective? So some things I want to highlight about this card right off the bat is in the classic image as it is depicted here, and not all are like that because I do have a different one that has two people in it. One seems to be the inner and one is the outer, at least in my deck. But the interesting thing about the Hermit is one, there's no one else in the image usually. It's usually just that person. And when we think about repetition and repeating rituals in order to support ourselves, it is an individualistic work. It is work that we do with ourselves. Sometimes we do it in community, like over here on Patreon, we will do these rituals together. But the act of showing up and actually doing our rituals is deeply individualistic. We have to decide, we have to make active choices that say, yes, I want to do this. Now, that ritual could be as simple as brushing your teeth. I'm a Virgo moon, so all things are ritual if you put intention into it, right? So just doing that one action, that is a choice that you are making. No one's making you make that choice. Now, if you don't make that choice to uphold that ritual, you might fall into other issues down the road. But ultimately, you are responsible for holding yourself to your own rituals. And that's something that I want to highlight here because the hermit reminds us of the individualistic work that we must do. The hermit is often portrayed as an old individual with a staff and a lamp shining the way. The hermit indicates not quick change or some radical, fast moving pace, but rather that old story of the tortoise and the hare, the slow and steady wins the race. And this is a great interpretation of that. When we look at this image, it's an old man in a empty, vast void, right? Maybe it's cold. There looks to be snow on the ground. So this indicates to us that slow movement is kind of part of it, part of the theme here. Slow and steady. You might not see immediate results, but continuing to walk towards the goal gets us closer even still. So the hermit gives us a sweet, sweet reminder of the importance of taking our time, working on ourselves, and allowing our light, this lantern, to be the guide. So our inner light, our inner knowing, our inner space of love and compassion for ourselves is the illumination, right? And sticking with it. Walking, even if it feels alone at moments, if we feel separated, that still we are walking towards that goal. We're still making strides, even if it feels that there's so much more we have to do. The hermit reminds us that it is okay. And much like Virgo scrutinizes, right? And is very organized, looks at the details. It's not a rush job, it's a job well done. And so as we work through that sort of energy in this season, we can look at this card as a teacher for how we might navigate. Listening to our own heart is illustrated by following our own light, right? Allowing that lantern that we hold to help guide us. We don't have to focus on caring for everyone. I did say service above self. But sometimes, as I share in this last question, the illumination of the individual can support the collective. Because when we care for ourselves and are sticking to those rituals, those routines, those elements that bring us home to self and make sure we can show up best in the world, those are profoundly sacred. So here is another image of the hermit, another interpretation, but as you can notice, it is very much the same. We have an older person wrapped in a cloak. They got sandals on this time. They have an orb instead of the actual lantern, but we can even insinuate there's a glow. And of course, the walking stick to help stabilize this person. And in that way, we can think about our rituals as our staff, right? The things that help us stay stable and strong are those things that support us. So as we think about this journey of the hermit today, I want us to kind of reflect on this. As we enter this work of this time of year and work with the mutable energy, we begin to spiral from summer to fall. The air becomes cooler, leaves begin to change, and days slowly grow shorter. We might already start to notice that if we're living in the northern hemisphere, right? As we see this shift, it is also an opportunity to join in this transition. So the mutable energy, that means this is the energy at the end of one season. So this is the end of summer that will then be followed up by the initiator Libra of the fall equinox. To know that journey of the hermit is not perfect, but we can return to that which supports us. The rituals we repeat in honor of our own sacredness. Now, this is what I mean. We are not always going to be consistent because life is lifing. And that is okay. We can continue the path even when we are inconsistent, because it is not perfection we seek, it is coming home to self. The hermit and the journey that the hermit goes on might not be perfect. It might be slow. It might feel like we're not making a lot of progress. We might even need to stop and rest. And that might be a moment where we feel that we have fallen off the horse. But these are not moments in which we should really hyperfixate on our failures, but on how to just continue forward. How not giving up completely is in itself the greatest success. So as we transition from the end of summer to fall, we can take the idea of repetition and sticking with something, knowing that it will not be perfect, as an opportunity to help join this transition, to bend and flow and work spiralically. So what do I mean by that? The work is spiralic. The moon as a teacher, just like us, the moon is always changing, but also repeating itself and the patterns of nature. So even though those patterns might change, the repetition is still happening. We are still repeating a cycle forward. But thinking about it instead of a straight line, but more of a spiral that is constantly evolving and going up, is kind of a huge way of giving ourselves more grace, right? Our rituals of showing up, even watching these video replays coming to the lives, that repetition builds, but it might not always look like we're progressing up. It might look more like the spiral up, right? The moon can be a great reflection of the hermit in that way. It moves at its own pace. It is always going where it needs to go, even if it disappears for a hot second, right? That new moon cycle. The journey of life is not always showing up perfectly or exactly on time, but in flow. So again, the moon acts as our teacher here. Each spiral for each person is repeated in a unique way with its own flow. May the spiral of nature help us sink deeper into the wisdom of the hermit and the sacred repetition of showing up even if we are not as consistent as we like to be. So repetition, as I shared, is important to building a new habit, a new skill, a strength. But doesn't always mean it's going to be perfect, right? All right. Let's start. I'm going to invite you to begin by placing a fresh piece of paper in front of you, or you can keep with your paper that has your intention on it. But I want you to start with a spiral, big or small. Remember, invitation, not obligation, follow your heart. And then I want you to write the word repetition below. Wherever you have it, it can be big in the center, tiny, however you want to do it. Ooh, I'm in the spiral. Visualization. So we're gonna drop into a little bit of a meditation again, the spiral of nature. Spiral of the moon, spiral of life is our visual today. Place one hand on your heart and another on your materials. Feel any tension in your body. Just give it a relaxed breath. Roll out your shoulders. Shake out whatever needs to go. And just soften your gaze and focus on the image. If it supports you on the screen, or close your eyes and begin dropping in. I want you to just imagine that rainbow spiral in front of you as it continues to just spiral in front of you. Imagine it in your mind's eye and then breathe to the breath. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And as you imagine this spiral in front of you, repeating its cycle in front of you, swirling, I want you to think about your intention that you wrote down. And just kind of allow it to come and go. If you find your mind wandering, just come back to it. Remember to remember the breath as well. And just take your time. Being there, being with yourself. Imagining that rainbow spiral. And imagine yourself being encased in that rainbow spiral. Almost creating a sweet little cocoon around you today. As we repeat our rituals and our intentions for ourselves, that power of repetition. And just feeling that light, that color, that spiral enclose us and strengthen us. Take one last deep inhale into the nose. Let it out with a sigh. Slowly come back. Allow your eyes to flutter open. I'm going to put on some music once again. Because once you feel ready, I want you to just intuitively explore. That could be mark making. You can draw the Hermit. You can play with the spiral, whatever it is. Remember, there is no right or wrong. And I'll be checking in soon.
These people in their cages trying to feel alive have been there now for ages. Stop questioning their lives. Keep doing what they're told and what's working outside. As soon as they get old, they know it wasn't right. Stop looking for adventures, new things that bring them joy. Oh, stop looking for themselves first and let life go by. They know they aren't happy, but don't seem to have a clue that getting out of these cages is something they can do. So they're stuck in a life they've created for themselves, which makes them tired and forget their own worth. Cause they stopped looking for adventures, new things that bring them joy. Oh, stopped It's like you're setting something free, and I'm stirring. And as I'm testing my new wings, yeah, I'm learning about the beauty of these things. And as I meet your eyes, I'm happy I can say my heart is open, my love is pure. I stand here unafraid, ready for more. My heart is open, my love is pure. I stand here unafraid, ready for more. My heart is open. Ready for more, ready for more, I'm ready to soar. Ready for more, ready for more, I'm ready to soar. Ready for more, ready for more, I'm ready to soar. Ready for more, ready for more, I'm ready to soar. So ready, I'm so ready for more. So ready for more, I'm so ready to soar. So ready, I'm so ready for more. Ready for more, I'm ready to soar. So ready, I'm so ready for more. So ready for more, I'm so ready to soar. So ready, I'm so ready for more. Ready for more, I'm ready to soar. So ready, I'm so ready for more. So ready for more, I'm so ready to soar. So ready, I'm so ready for more. Ready for more, I'm ready to soar. So ready, I'm so ready for more. So ready for more, I'm so ready to soar. So ready, I'm so ready for more. Ready for more, I'm ready to soar. So ready, I'm so ready for more. So ready for more, so ready to soar. So ready, I'm so ready to soar. Ready for more, I'm ready to soar. So ready, I'm so ready for more. Singing in my key, when you bring me, it's like you're setting something free, and I'm stirring. And as I'm testing my wings, yeah, I'm learning about the beauty of these things. My heart is open, my love is pure. I stand here unafraid, ready for more. My heart is open, my love is pure. I stand here unafraid, ready for more. My heart is open, I'm so ready. I'm so ready for more. Ready for my heart is open.
Don't you love the morning? It is full of possibility. It arrives like a clean slate, unbiased, unburdened by psychological trauma. It doesn't want anything. It doesn't need anything. It simply is, and is enough. It carries the information of all lifetimes, the memory of the whole of mankind, fortune and misfortune. Yet it remains unaffected, untouched, elegant in its appearance, weightless in its form, but infinite in its presence. So when the morning meets you, take notice, because congratulations, another day has come your way. You are here, you are free, you are alive. This is the true lottery. Not the money, not the house, not the car. No material gain is relevant in the eyes of the breaking of the day. It only sees you at your most simple design. Your human being. Don't you love the morning? It's full of possibility to get it right.
All right, friends. On that note, I'm gonna close this out today. First of all, that last song was Repetitions by MC Yogi. So I feel like that's a good spot to end on. Of course, if you're in your flow, don't stop. Don't stop on my behalf. Go ahead, pause this video, put on whatever music you want to put on, and stick in your flow. You don't have to stop just because this video is ending. Oh, I forgot to pull this up. So these are some reminders for while you're working. But let's do some reflecting. So we will not always show up exactly as we imagined, but showing up even after falling off of our rituals that supports us is part of the hermit's journey. Allow for your work to be imperfect. That is also part of the process. In this imperfection, we also learn so much about ourselves, about how to better show up in the future. And isn't that what it's all about? Practice, not perfection. It's not about how it looks, it's about how to best support us, and showing up is the first step. So thank you for being here with me. Of course, this was our theme for August, repetition. But next month's themes are posted, and it is system. System is the theme, thinking about those systems that support us and maybe are not as helpful, and thinking about what we can do in regards to that, right? So not just discerning what helps and what doesn't, but thinking about how to where we fit in our systems as well. So with that said, thank you so much for joining me in this practice with art as ritual. I hope you stick with it. I hope you continually follow your own inner light and your inner knowing and move slow and steadily. It is not about finishing first. It is about the journey. But with that said, I want to thank you one more time. And until next time, see ya.